Most of the week, but the Latrell Mitchell saga continues. The Rabbitohs to engage lawyers over Latrell ban. Sydney Morning Herald. Now, Mitchell did not train with the Rabbitohs today at Heffron Park. Mitchell has been sidelined since July with a serious foot injury. The NRL fined and suspended Mitchell one match for bringing the game into disrepute, and the Rabbitohs wanted Mitchell to serve his suspension this week. Now, the Rabbitohs had 3 separate reports from doctors that stated Mitchell was fit to play, and Blake Solly, via the Sydney Morning Herald, states, "We are taking legal advice on the NRL's request for further information and the proposed fitness test." Thoughts?
I would just say, just let it lie. Let it die. Like it was Latrell who has made the error.
Yeah.
Or made the mistake. He's been fined $100,000. Like in the big scheme of things, it's one game. Just let it.
Exactly, but you're agitating people, right?
You're getting lawyers. You're going to pay lawyers. It's going to cost you.
Yeah.
Unless they're using the $100,000 from Latrell.
But is that 100,000 or has that been
suspended? Yeah.
Suspended. So it's like 20, isn't it?
I think so. 80,000 was.
Yeah,
suspended.
I mean seriously. And
or
when it happened, right? Both you and I just said, look, you know what? It's not great look for the game. That's certain. But the kid's a young kid. He's made a mistake. He's lived a different life to most people. Not endorsing it, but we all bloody make mistakes. So that is what it is. But at the same time, Latrell and South, I don't think the punishment was that bloody heavy. So just cop the punishment
and just move on.
Yeah, because
talk about Tallis Duncan wearing Ron Coote's number 8 jersey.
Exactly, like
you're playing a local derby, or okay, cop it. Just say, all right, NRL, we can't do it, but he's keen to play, so let's play.
Well, what would be a great look for Latrell right now would be. I appreciate the club supporting me, but you know what? I did the wrong thing, and I want to serve my penance. And if it means I miss round 1 next year, I miss round 1 next year.
But
can we all just move on? I made a mistake, blah, blah, blah.
But I'm keen to play on Friday.
Yeah,
I'm keen to play tomorrow.
But I don't believe he's ready to play Friday.
He wouldn't be, fitness-wise.
So, which makes their argument even worse. And I love a lot of things that South are doing, but I reckon they've not read the room appropriately on this one. As for the Broncos, their season under scrutiny, Peter Bedell through the Courier Mail. He'd have a tough job up there, Pete. Clearly, he's attached to a lot of the Broncos stories. And you've got to report the good, bad, and the ugly, right? That'd be a tough job, don't you reckon, Brian? Like lobbing up the trainer and you've bagged them this week and now you're wrapping them this week, and which is your job.
Well, you were talking about a certain job after watching that movie yesterday.
Did we say that on air? Or
No, you haven't.
Okay, so without giving the movie away, because it may give the story away, there's a defense attorney who's representing the defendant.
Barrister.
Yeah, and you just know that the bloke's in the wrong.
Correct.
Right? But they're putting on this charade and acting job. You're thinking, how could you do this?
It's a job. You've got to answer to people. You've got to answer to the client.
But what about when they were belittling one of the
witnesses?
One of the witnesses.
Yeah, but that's all part of the game.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
But this is the job. This is the job they chose, the journo.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
I think a lot of the journo, they've got pretty thick skin.
Well, you have to. The Broncos bosses will review a number of issues. The Broncos have not won a premiership. Geez, you forget about that, don't you? They've not won a premiership in 19 seasons. Main points of interest, the lacklustre 2024 recruitment drive, the handling and the loss of Thomas Flegler, the Dolphins knocking the Broncos out of finals contention, critical roster decisions and cap concerns with 19 of their top-line players coming off contract over the next 2 seasons, the departure of Ben Eichen.
Would I be right in saying when they last won their premiership, 2006, the Bun Man was there?
I believe so.
Okay.
And Matt, that's what Matty was saying. One of the biggest losses they've ever had, the Broncos, is Paul Bunn, who's now at the Melbourne Storm. You see what's happening there. The NRL News update thanks to Bodie's. You can save 50% on Bodie's protein water powder with 100% WPI exclusively at Chemist Warehouse. Now, the coal miner's coming up. I'm going to ask him, one of the questions will be, next year's premiership betting, where would you expect the Broncos to fall? It's the Run Home with Joel and Fletch.